Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Unfiltered Desire, Smashing Sex Stigmas with Toby and Dina. We're back for episode 10, and we are going to smash the stigma of hidden shame in men. Yes, we're dismantling the taboo today that's kept generations of men emotionally exiled from their own hearts, pleasure, and the truth. Who am I? I'm Toby Staples. I'm a self mastery mentor, and I am here with the amazing Dina, but she'll introduce herself to the world. Dina, I love you.
Love you too. Hi, everybody. You're watching me. I'm from Aruba. I am, what am I? I'm a personal coach, a relationship coach, and I am an intimacy coach. Why is it needed? Yes, because sex needs to be married to spirituality, and that's the basis of everything. If you have that in order and balanced, for me, everything is balanced. Okay? So, I love our topic today. I love it.
So do I.
so today is a soul igniting episode because I have felt this agony in men personally because I had a client with this problem, and one of the problems, because there are a lot. Okay, and we are going to dive deeper in this topic, which touches the core of men's emotional and sexual well-being. That's the best way that how I can describe it. So tell me, Toby, what do you think of the topic?
I think that this topic is a real crippler for men. I'll speak truthfully on it, like I always do. There's really important points that we're going to talk about today to explore it completely, like the performance pressure and the prove your masculinity trap, and how those early sexual messages, they wire men for suppression and not sovereignty. They really don't. And there's all kinds of things that men don't realize when it comes to this. And they've been silenced from feeling. And therefore, if they can't feel and be in touch with that center, they can't receive the pleasure and connection with their women. It's based with fantasy and not reality. So I'm really, really proud of us coming together today to share some love and wisdom for all and smash the sex stigmas and the silence. Because it's
Yes.
crippling men and it's crippling connection. And in this great time of change, divine women, the divine feminine, is rising, and they need the divine masculine in his full righteous power. So, this is a very, very important topic. This is not a clout
Yeah.
topic. And no, this is a very important topic for you all today. Very much so.
Yes.
That's what I think
Yes.
about
I
it.
love it. Perfect. Perfect. And I do think that for generations, men have been conditioned to hide their feelings. Here on the island, our men are being told you cannot cry. And this I have heard these sayings for when I was a child. But still, in the modern world, at this moment, some moms are still telling their sons they are not supposed to cry. They should be men, and it's I don't tolerate that. Men should um, can express their feelings. They should have a way, and they should feel safe, and that they are still men. Okay. Um, they were conditioned to hide their desires and to hide their vulnerability, and that's the real you. If you need to hide all of these things, your real you can never come out. This silent shame creates a barrier of to authentic intimacy, powerful self-expression, and holistic pleasure. So today we're here to dismantle that taboo, dismantle it, and open the door to new understanding. True strength lies in embracing our full emotional and sexual selves. So let's start. Where do you want to start?
Well,
The
let's
performance pressure.
Yes. And you know what? Boys are taught from a young age that their worth is tied to performance in bed, in life,
Yes.
in emotionlessness. That the more that they
Yes.
are without emotion is the more masculine they are. And that is the worst thing to do to any man.
Yes.
The
You know
problem of,
what? It's not only men that. Sorry, the
oh, go
internet
for
is
it.
a little bit unstable.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's
Where
why I
it's
waited. I want to hear what you have to say.
sorry. Um, you know, not only the men has that pressure, performance pressure, but women do help them have more pressure because they expect the majority of women expect performances from men, and
Yes.
that is, I think, um, insult. I think it's inhuman. It's not human if you expect a man to perform, because if you know who you are and you know should be a balance, you have your responsibility also as a woman. Okay, and yeah, if you expect performance, then you need to deliver performance also. So that's why I like the soft massages, the lingam massage, because the penis should is not supposed to be erected, and it can have great massages, and the man can relax and feel good and get their orgasm without erections. But we don't teach that. That is like, it's not intimacy, it's not sex. No, it's the most beautiful intimacy, sex with a partner, if you can do that. Okay. um
Very much. And I want
Talk
to
to
just
me.
touch on that pressure a second too, because that pressure to perform, it disconnects men from pleasure and intimacy. So that's a huge thing. And it totally destroys the connection. It doesn't bind it, not at all. And it creates anxiety and sexual dysfunction sometimes. If a man is anxious and believes, oh, I have to show up with a performance for this woman, the anxiety of that alone takes him out of his pleasure and his power, because it's more he's in the wrong mind. You see? And it's true about what they say. When a man's stuck in his mind, well, that's where he's stuck, right? And that's why the saying goes, oh, well, he's thinking with his wrong head. Because sometimes you see what they say about when a penis is erect, they can't think straight anymore. They think with their dick. Like, I'll say it like
Yes.
that. So there's a real pressure of performance that actually dismantles the connection in completion from the start.
See.
And it's just
Yes.
like a get it done kind of thing. You see?
Yes. See.
But
Yes,
the
it's like,
wiring,
sorry, say it
no,
again.
go for it. Go for it.
No,
What
I
were you
didn't hear what you said.
Okay, no, I was just going to say that, the early messaging wires their brain hardwired for that stuff. You see, the second point where we're going to talk about are how early sexual messaging wires men for suppression and not sovereignty, because boys are often exposed to porn before healthy emotional connection.
Yes.
And that wiring, it's wiring for fantasy, not reality. Okay?
Yes. 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 Totally with you. You know what? Um, how early can do you think these messages for men, or the suppression, um, gets to men, because they are not born with this. At what age, how early is this sexual messaging reaching out to men? It's very important as moms,
It's
because you have a
actually
son.
It's
Uh-huh.
actually from the minute they start to discover their own body with touching themselves. The shame is
Okay.
being induced from there, because it's from those things that we initially hear about exploring our own bodies that either creates that healthy connection to it, or it dismantles because your parents will tell you, don't touch yourself, you're a pervert, don't do that. And they will shame you for your own exploration of your body. So you will be shamed. Also, religious beliefs have an impact. What your parents believe as traditional. So if your parents saw you exploring yourself even as a toddler, they started to tell you what they believed about that. So it disrupts you from the earliest of ages, and you don't even realize before you even explore outside of that as a grown being.
Yes.
So it affects your wiring right from the initial jump of exploration of when you're touching yourself as a kid and you're realizing those sensations and everything. It's what you're being told about it.
Yes. True. I totally agree with you. Another topic that I wanted to address today is the many men fear that expressing tenderness or emotions will be perceived as um, loss of power or too soft. But in truth, cultivating emotional depth, enhancing intimacy and personal authenticity, that is emotional intelligence. And that is what a woman at this a woman with the information at this moment is searching for. A man with emotional intelligence knows that tender part of him, can share that tender part of him, and is can be vulnerable without any shame. Okay, so what comes up in you? Tell me.
You know what comes up in me? I watched a video this morning, and I'll say his name, Dimitri Wiley.
Okay.
He is a black man. He voiced today on his video, I am love, source love first. I almost, my mouth was like, finally, men are getting it. So, whereas another man would think that is just absolutely not what he can feel for himself, I am so proud that a man can speak this truth.
See,
Finally.
see. I have a question for you, Toby.
Sure.
Why is vulnerability a strength and not a weakness in sexual connection?
Well, because if you don't be vulnerable with your partner and really allow yourself to be seen naked to your soul, well, then you're pretending. So, and you're lying to yourself and your partner. It's not fair for you and it's not fair for the partner. So, vulnerability and coming out authentic as you are and holding no secrets and silencing nothing is the best form of binding that connection because it's real, it's raw, and it's truthful.
True. I totally agree with you. I want to add something on it.
Sure.
Okay. Being willing as a man to feel deeply and open up creates a profound resonance with your partner. Vulnerability invites trust and authentic connection. And that is what you're looking for. Because, yeah, there is no connection that is not authentic, but you want deep connection, not a spark. So I think that's what I'm looking for. The word that I'm looking for, a deeper connection. And if you have that, it can expand your capacity to love deeper and have deeper pleasure. That's why vulnerability is a strength. Because without that, you will stay superficial. Or as you said, you will be lying to your partner. I love this. I love this. So I like the question. So I'll continue with questions.
This is so awesome, though, really, because I personally have been with men in my past that you could feel the shame on them. But you see, what people don't realize is when anybody has an orgasm, whatever wounding they have gets triggered. Yes. So when, if you're not vulnerable and if you're not connected to your own love and you don't have the capacity, like Dina was saying, about feeling, well, then what are you doing trying to connect with anybody? Because you won't be able to feel that either. It's totally, it goes hand in hand. If you can't be connected to your soul power and to be free of even shaming your own self, you will not be free of shaming another. And this is so important, why you dismantle the fear, the shame, the guilt, the blame, the lies, the illusion, and your ego. And you step into the true power of your being on purpose with intention. It's to enhance your life and the connections that you have, even on a sexual level. But how many men are able to be real, raw, and truthful with their own self? Because that's where it starts. If you can't be that way with yourself, you can't be that way with somebody else.
True.
Big time.
True. It's true. So something came up, a question came up. Today is a question day, Toby. So why um empowered men don't suppress their desires? They lead with that. Why is that?
Why empowered men are
Do
able
not
to lead,
do not suppress their desire.
because they know they're sovereign. They've unshackled themselves from the limitations, the restrictions, and the binding of a less than, and they're not going to be filtered silence. They're unapologetically authentic. And I
Yes.
salute every man who has empowered himself to that stage. And woo, does that a turn on for the women who have healed?
Yes,
That's the new sexy, guys.
but that is the problem, Toby. When this client came to me and he opened up and told me, look, I want to explore that part of my the anal sex, the prostate massage, and but he was so ashamed to ask his wife. So, but it's important for men to be aware that you are limiting yourself to live fully, with with that energy of being afraid. Okay, so I cannot understand someone in this age, in this time, is still choosing this because it's a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice because you are afraid maybe the woman will leave you, and maybe that you will be reprimanded, but it's an afraid of something. But staying in that energy is more um, um, harmful than being authentic, because being authentic, you will attract what your soul is in need of. Okay, so that's why I wanted today to take the opportunity to give this topic extra attention, because you are choosing for something that does more harm than helping you. Authenticity helps you get to where you want to go. And maybe you don't know where you want to go, but then if you are authentic, you will get to know eventually what's needed, what you need. So
Yes. Big time. And you know what?
yes.
Suppression of any of your desires or silencing of your desires leads to resentment. It disconnects you from your partner. The minute you choose to stay silent, you have literally chosen to disconnect from your partner.
Yes.
There's no two ways about it, because you should be able to openly, lovingly, compassionately stay in a unified field within yourself and with your partner. So, therefore, no secrets, no shame, no lies, and no guilt attached. You should be able to speak openly, lovingly, compassionately about what you desire, no matter what it is,
Yes.
whether it's sexually, emotionally, physically, even financially, whatever it is. If
Yes.
you cannot speak about what's on your heart or what you feel that you need or want to explore and discover, you are not with the right person.
Yes. Yes. I
And too many
totally.
people stay distracted and make excuses for that shit. I don't.
Is that distraction, or is that I think it's a domestication. The wording for me, it's like, yeah, I want to use the right word. I think they are domesticated. It's like a dog, sit, sleep, and they don't question. It's like that. And life is not for you to question it, but life is for you to live it. And you're not living it if your body is telling you, hey, I feel like I'm in jail, and you are ignoring it. No. And I like the tip that you provide. You already provided a tip. Practice self-compassion. Have compassion with yourself. Just you just said it. And it starts by gently acknowledging and accepting your feelings, like you just said, and desires without judgment. And if someone is listening at me at this moment, remember it's safe to be vulnerable and imperfect. And nobody is perfect. Everybody wants to be perfect. What is perfection? You are perfection, Toby. I am perfection.
Yes, the energy of love that fuels us is in perfect design. And that's
Yes.
the only thing that's perfect about our experience is what fuels it.
Yes.
But we got to stay in alignment with that. And I like that. You know, you talked about that client that you had that was in shame. And why do I say distraction? People understand what a distraction truly is. If you avoid what you feel that your body is screaming for, no matter what it is, whether it's an adventure, a discovery, whatever it is, and you deny yourself, that's crippling for you.
Yes.
And I love how Dina brought it up because why do I say distraction? Because you deny and avoid what you feel and you silence what you feel. And then you go out and you use drugs, alcohol, other women, even porn to satisfy your silent shame.
Yeah,
And you
that's it.
should be a sovereign soul.
Yeah, true. True. And those are the distractions. I totally understand now. Yeah, and I'm totally with you. So another tip I wanted to provide before, because time does not wait for us. It just runs. Um, you need to create a safe space for expression. Find or cultivate an environment, whether through therapy, men's circles, or trusted friends. And I'm not talking about beer friends, because here in the island, a lot of people have alcohol friends. They just go out for a wine or a beer. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that circle of deep connection where you can speak honestly about your feelings. A lot of a lot of men do not have that. You can that in that circle you can speak about your feelings, about fears and desires without fear or shame of rejection. If you don't have that circle of that person, look for one, pay for one. As simple
Yes,
as,
and they should sign up with you if they need that support.
yes,
Straight
because
up.
yes, I'm going to be honest to the listeners. I just had a client coming in, and she paid for the session yesterday. She had a session for me, but she stayed away for too long. So when she came yesterday, she had to talk. She's here for me to express herself, because she is not she's well known on the island, and she cannot express herself with other people out there. So she pays me for her to for me to listen to her, and it stays here. And she had to talk a lot, and then I told her, look, the time is over, but please come today, because you're not finishing talking, and I didn't have a chance to provide my tools to you and for you to relax. So she came today, and it's important to have that someone, which I have clients that use me, my sessions, because they don't have that. Okay, and it's important. And when she went out, you can see her relief. Okay, so it's important to have that connection with someone. Another tip before we go, do we have time, Toby?
Yeah, I believe so. Go for it.
Unplug from porn and external validation. Okay, that's another tip, and I think that's a very important tip that I'm going to we're going to talk a lot about this, and I'm going to give this tip as my last tip. Limit exposure to unrealistic sexual expectation. I'm going to repeat that. Limit exposure to unrealistic sexual expectations because that's what porn is providing, and focus on developing your own healthy understanding of pleasure and intimacy. So what comes up
Well, a lot comes
during
up.
this last tip?
A lot comes up because I see so many men that have been, they will attach themselves to porn before a real connection in life because it's safer for them to do, to sit in their shame and their silence. And you got to dismantle that, guys. We're here to enlighten you. We're not here to add the shame. We want you to break out of that silence box of suppression. Be a sovereign soul. Come out of the box, come up for air, and speak about what you need. Because, that's how you know who's real in your life and who's not. The ones that are meant for you will support your journey, no matter what it is, and no matter what you speak about. The right ones will not judge you, will not shame you, will not blame you for your desires or your needs. And this is why I encourage everybody to speak up. You are an individual having your experience, and it should not be silenced to conform to what anybody expects of you around you. And you got to be tapped into what you need as an individual. And we all crave to be touched. We all crave to be loved. We all crave to be connected. That is how we're wired. But are you connected to you and what your heart is speaking to you? Don't silence that. Don't shame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Step out of that and embrace who you truly are. And today, you have Dina and myself that are experts at what we do. We can assist you to rip off the duct tape of the silencing, rip off the mask of shame, and step into your real, true, sovereign power of your being. So if any of you want that, reach out. Dina, would you like to address the audience as we wrap up this wonderful episode 10?
Yes, yes, thank you so much. I am really grateful for this opportunity, and you, if you're listening to me right now, that you state, and maybe if something comes up and you want to place it in the comments, please do that. And if you want a topic that you want us to get deeper in the information and provide it to you, please write it down also. I'm very grateful for you being here with us.
Yes, guys, I want to thank you for your time, your energy, and your involvement in coming in. And, we really want your comments, your feedback, and any opportunity that you'd like to for us to speak on anything. Let us know. But I also want to say, men, you're not the only ones that are silenced with shame. The women are too. But these women now need the men to rise up in their power, in the sovereignty of their being, because it's time. That's why. Yes, very much so. And the divine women, the divine feminines, are waiting for you. Yes. Thanks for
We are.
being with us. Go for it, Dina. Mention whatever came up.
No, it's I'm okay. I'm happy. I love our topic today. We did great.
Yes. Love you all. See you next week. And
Bye.
don't silence your desires. Love you all. Bye.
No. Bye.